Okay, this is going to be something of a two-parter. I've been wanting to do a rant on the Grammys for a few years now, but I feel like now is as good a time as any. I might be a bit late to the punch by the time you guys see this, but whatever. Just recently, the 63rd annual Grammy Award show took place, and I've complained about it before for just being people like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, and Justin Bieber winning the most important awards, and getting the most coverage. And exactly who won some of the big awards and got the most coverage? Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Ariana Grande, and Justin Bieber. Beyonce's wins in particular, I guess, are especially important because she now has won more Grammys than any other female artist at 28. Taylor Swift has also won her third Album of the Year award. And exactly how do I know this? Tristan, you don't subject yourself to that garbage, do you? The answer to that question would be an emphatic no, but rather it's trending bars that subject me to that garbage. Twitter, for example. Spent a solid half hour probably trying to figure out how to hide this particular feature on the trending tab. Now granted, I understand that not hiding the element using an ad block feature or changing the trending bar to Tokyo Trends or anywhere else for that matter is in some way my fault. But you know, I've only had my newest Twitter account since last month, and all it had really been was news stories and politics and hashtags dunking on our former presidents, as well as congressmen and senators who have made themselves a figure of controversy by supporting the January 6th insurrection or being unhelpful during the snowstorm or voting against COVID relief. So you can imagine my displeasure when I found that this article on Twitter's trending tab could not be hidden. For the first time in a couple of years, the Grammys had been shoved down my fucking throat, and you can bet I'm pissed off. Twitter, you can have the fucking account back, I don't want your bullshit. I cannot say with enough passion that I am so goddamn tired of hearing about these celebrities, because you wanna know something? Who the fuck is Beyonce anymore? She hasn't had this much media coverage in 5 years, I bet. She released 2 fucking singles last year, both of which I didn't even know about until the fucking Grammys. How the fuck is it that she is as irrelevant as the fact that the sky is blue, and yet she still finds herself a Grammy in 2021? I never hear anything about the supposed Queen Bee, and yet she still takes home something every year. Queen Bee is actually a fitting name, because all she is anymore is a B player. And don't lie to me, you sheep, you all know it's true. All I hear about anymore is Billie Eilish, Cardi B, and people like that. I don't see Jax Films making a Yai episode out of fucking Beyonce. She never has been and never will be the newest hottest meme, and she has no potential for meme culture anymore. And a lot of you know it. In fact, I feel like even she and the people who run the Grammys know it, but they're just giving her the award because fuck it. But mentioning Cardi B, I'm almost surprised she didn't win anything for WAP, besides a spot on the fucking performance ceremony. But I guess having a song about how wet your pussy is wouldn't really fit on a family-friendly award show. And also, what the fuck is the point of Megan Thee Stallion, Lil Baby, or that Jack Harlow Winkstain having a chance when they won't even be remembered 20 or even 10 fucking years from now? My research indicated that the annual Grammy Awards show is fucking flawed too. I mean, this is an annual award show, is it not? Then why the fuck are songs and albums from 2019 and longer ago being nominated? Why the fuck is anything from Post Malone's Hollywood Bleeding album not only being nominated but winning as part of the Producer of the Year Grammy awarded to Andrew Watt featuring fucking Take What You Want? I mean, at least Ordinary Man and Under the Graveyard by Ozzy happened in fucking 2020. That's not it. 10,000 Hours by Dan plus Shay featuring Justin Bieber, another song from 2019, won the Grammy for Best Country Group Performance. The problem I have with this is why the hell aren't the Grammys nominating songs from last year, 2020? I would excuse the fact that maybe some of these songs didn't have much time before 2019 was up to really leave its mark, but Hollywood Bleeding dropped in September. It had plenty of time. That album plus 10,000 Hours were a big deal almost immediately. What the Grammys could have done is nominate a new artist that actually had something in 2020, even if it didn't quite make the top 10 status. Hell, put a good rock or metal song in there. Which, by the way, I am so goddamn tired of metal being ignored in the music industry year after year after year. It wasn't even until I started doing the research that I learned that best metal performance was a thing in the Grammys, which Body Count won, but even still, they stuck this Poppy girl in there, who, from what I understand, isn't even fucking metal! Or is she? I don't fucking know. Her single, All the Things She Said, known to me for being featured on Buckley's Worst Songs of 2020 list, sounds more like electropop. The furthest she's gone into metal, from what I'm aware, is ripping off Baby Metal and now Corpse Paint with her art cover on her latest studio release. But anyways, best rock performance went to some Baroque pop chick. I don't understand. What did we do to society to deserve this? Why can't we just be taken seriously? Why is it that our bands can bust our ass on an album, sound better than fucking good, and the biggest award dedicated to metal on this bullshit award show is taken by some fake-ass rapper who thinks he's rock, or some pop star who thinks she's metal but is really just copying the gimmicks of others? And maybe that isn't happening, maybe not everything is lost, but I feel like the Grammys are allowing it to happen. And if it doesn't stop, we will be overtaken by these posers. I feel like what the metal community can do about it is make their own award show. The biggest internet personalities in metal, the biggest bands, the biggest webzines dedicated to metal, the biggest metal record companies need to come together and sponsor a separate award show. May I suggest the Thrashies? Maybe? We could give out awards for best heavy metal, for best thrash, for best death metal, best black metal, power metal, best metalcore song, maybe even do our own rock picks. But I feel like now is the time to break away from the system, because if we don't, we will continue to be ignored. And as time goes on, I feel that we may be left out of it entirely in favor of fakers. It'd really just be best performance by an artist playing the metal gimmick. And that's not right. Now, what do I mean by this being a two-trick pony? Well, the reaction. And by that, I am not referring to K-pop fans being frustrated that K-pop is being ignored, which I guess means I have something in common with K-pop fans, only my thing is for metal. But no, I'm talking about a form of criticism of the Grammys that I was not a fan of, and that I actually felt pretty offended by. And you're about to know where this is going, because I'm gonna preface this half of the video by saying that I stand against white supremacy as well as sexism. I'd also like to take a moment to pay tribute to the 6 Asian women, the 1 white female, and the 1 white gentleman that died as a result of the March 16th Atlanta spa shootings, as well as 1 Hispanic gentleman that survived the shooting. I'd like to call out Captain Jay Barker of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department for defending the fucking shooter for his sex addiction, saying that he was at the end of his rope and had a rough day. Fuck that guy's day. The people he shot and killed had families who are now grieving. They are having a bad day. How much harder would it have been for this fucking cretin to load up a computer and type in Pornhub.com or Xhamster and get his rocks off? You shitting me? I have rough days too, but this shit don't turn me into a mass shooter. I'll kick someone's ass though. And nothing made me want to open up a can of ass whooping more than the reaction to the Grammys. Last Wednesday, A Dose of Buckley released a video which came untimely, seeing as how he usually posts on Saturdays only. And truth be told, this video was going to be another lyrics autopsy, but now I see why if Buckley wanted this out as soon as possible. But it was his 8th edition to his social media meltdown series. Basically what happened is that stand-up comedian Bill Burr was the host of this year's Grammy Award show, at least the Latin categories, and he does what comedians do. He makes a few jokes, but what really set people off for some fucking reason is his butchering of the pronunciation of Natalia Lafourcade's name, which I don't even know if I got that right even after watching the video. This sent the alt-left into a rage, even after Bill Burr had apologized immediately after attempting to announce Lafourcade. It's the exact point in time where Bill Burr became representative of all white men, and that mispronouncing a Latin name became grounds for banning all white men and keeping them in cages. Take a good look at these comments, folks. This is Donald Trump painted blue. The Red Hats wanted this, but for Mexicans. The people spewing this bullshit about white men probably went ballistic after the Trump administration started caging Mexican kids. It's pure fucking hypocrisy. Unless these people are black and minority supremacists and not your average Democrats, I have to assume that these people went for a leftist candidate in last year's election, if they voted at all. And the 3 biggest leftists on the ballots were Joe Biden, Howie Hawkins of the Green Party, and Bernie Sanders as a write-in, all 3 of which are fucking white men. So what the fuck? They're gonna cage and ban the people that they voted for that promised peace and prosperity post-Trump? Where the fuck is the logic in that? Or did these people just vote one way or the other because one piece of dog shit smells better than the other being Donald Trump? But no, sure, maybe these people are minority supremacists, and a white guy mispronouncing a Latin name is about as offensive to them as a black guy drinking from a water fountain is to the KKK. And also, I like this logic that Bill Burr is a racist for mispronouncing a name, so let's imprison his entire fucking skin color. Take that anti-racist badge of honor off your fucking chest right now. The remarks made here are 10 times, maybe even 100 times as racist as anything Bill Burr ever said or did. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, the guy's a comedian. Chances are some of the shit he says is a fucking joke. Weighing my options, this is the kind of shit that I would proudly vote Republican for if the Democrats ever ended up like this at large.
Alright, you have embarrassed me for the last time, Jim Leahy. I want a divorce!
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Oppressing white people is not how the problem of racism is solved. Oppressing men is not how the problem of sexism is solved. As a matter of fact, it only makes it worse. If the Republican Party is to continue down the same path as it is today, and the Democrats base themselves around the oppression of white men, it is going to lead to racial tensions of unparalleled levels. The words of Martin Luther King Jr. have failed to break through to future generations. We are not judging individual people based on the content of their character, but rather on the color of their skin. And I'm not stealing his words, I'm just applying them to the situation at hand. You want to imprison all white men because a comedian mispronounced a Latin name on some phony-ass award show? You'll never take me alive. And that's where I'm going to end it. Did you agree with what I had to say? If so, please be sure to click thumbs up, share the video far and wide, leave some comments telling me what you think of the Grammys and the unwarranted venomous response of Cage All White Men because of Bill Burr butchering the last name, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Please also click the notification bell to receive notifications when I post new content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.